condolences to Tina
Oh
Turner's
yeah, for sure.
family.
Yeah, yeah.
She recently passed away. I mean, we missed the episode last week, so we should have done this last week. But yeah, man, she freaking legend,
Turner, yeah.
bro.
It's
And
so weird seeing it's so weird hearing some of these people die because it just tells you that dang, we getting older. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It's kind of like
yeah.
it's so weird though because it's
We're
like
at
you've
that
been
age. We're at that age
yeah,
window
man.
where,
It's
like,
like
you know what I mean, like
yeah,
people,
it's
black
like
people gonna be people that we like grew up with, grew up
yeah,
knowing. They were already a little bit old. They were this age, you know.
yeah, that's
But
true.
by the time we got to this age, they're, you know what I mean. So she was
Yeah.
83. She was 83. So this was March. This was May 24th. She died in Switzerland. Turns out she had been living in Switzerland for like forever now.
Oh
Really?
wow, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shouts out to her for getting the fuck up out of here.
Big
She's like,
fact.
I mean, one of
And
her.
Switzerland is a really it's a really
Yo,
nice area, really
she
nice
just
place.
wanted her peace.
Yeah, yeah.
She just
Switzerland
like
is
been
a
living.
very safe country. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah,
Healthcare there is excellent. I mean, like excellent. Like I know about this. Healthcare there is excellent. Like yeah, she just wanted to live her life in peace for sure.
yeah. She didn't want to be
For
around
sure.
nobody familiar. And I can understand because this man, if you ever watched her story, man, she went through a lot.
She did.
But
She
and
did
of
go through
course
a lot.
they had movies about it. Was
Yeah.
What's Love Got to Do with it? You know,
Mhm.
there's even this right now actually. So as a vibe recommendation, go check out HBO Max.
Yeah, there's
The
a remake. There's
Tina
a remake
Turner.
or something.
No, not. It's a documentary. It's like
Yeah, not remake. Sorry, documentary. Right.
yeah, it's a documentary on
Yeah.
HBO Max. So definitely recommend checking that out and play go find do a Tina Turner playlist and just like realize damn she fucking bangers. I'll say this
That's
much too. She had fucking energy. If you watch her performances
oh
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man,
Insane.
energy is unmatched. Like
Yeah,
she
insane.
worked for that shit and she worked to get up out the mud. She was really down bad. Freaking Ike, domestic abuse,
Yeah.
and everything, and then had to like the only thing she wanted out of that whole thing, she's like, I just want my name. I don't need nothing from this motherfucker. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I just want my name. She got her name because she knew she was capable of. She bet on
Mhm.
herself. She's
Yep.
like, give me like as long as I keep that name, Tina Turner, because that's not her actual. I don't remember
Her maiden name?
her not her born name. I don't think Tina. Is, but
Oh, okay.
uh,
I always thought that was her.
now I gotta look it up because okay, so
Mm.
look it up. Anna Mae Bullock.
Anime Bullock, so it's a
This is
whole
what I'm saying.
different.
Like
Okay,
Jamie
all right.
Foxx name ain't Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, his name is Jay Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like people have so she just but that's the stage persona that she's got. So she had built up a career or built up a follow or I mean just an audience with
Mm.
her work with Ike because they did make great music together too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Gotta be honest, right? But she built up a career with that name, and so to be like you know, we're ending this relationship here, but I need to fucking do something. She left like with like talking about dollars in her pocket. Like I
Mm.
think she might have been homeless at a point in time, whatever, right?
Wow.
But she came and then when she got back in the game, she was like 40 years old. So like, music industry is usually a young person's game. You hop in there young, you
Mm.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
she freaking built a whole nother freaking back in her career that was
Mm.
even greater than the stuff she put out with like so she's a legend and pay some respects by streaming some Tina Turner, get some
Tina
Tina Turner
Turner.
vibes
OG.
in your soul there. I
Mhm.
definitely recommend um what was that album? Not the album, but there's a playlist on YouTube. You go YouTube and you type her name. They play a great
Like,
playlist for it.
okay.
It's a mix. It's a mix of stuff.
Okay.
Um, so also in the vibes, I just want to just quickly mention Spider-Man. The movie came out, so that's what I'm recommending here. The movie Spider-Man, the movie, right? The soundtrack is great. We featured it on the vibes as a short little clip last
Mm.
week. Soundtrack is great. It ain't no damn Little Mermaid bullshit. Damn it, with this freaking whack ass freaking
Yeah,
orchestral
yeah,
shit. You
yeah,
know what I mean? No, that shit was banging, man. They had everybody
yeah,
on that joint. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
so it's a good long album, and it's fly. I definitely
I
recommend
heard,
checking
heard,
it out.
heard the movie was pretty good too. I heard the movie was pretty good.
So basically, yeah.
Surprisingly.
So yeah, good. Get me back on focus because
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's what I recommend. The movie.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
movie's a great movie. I
Mm.
love the first one, and this one is yeah. I think this one might be better.
Mm.
This one might be better, and it's a two-parter.
I haven't even seen the first one.
You
I gotta check
haven't
out
seen
the
the
first
first one? What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. That first one was one of those animated movies where I feel like could have been nominated for an Oscar.
Really?
I feel like it could have been nominated for an Oscar.
Mm.
Yeah. You're not gonna get that. You're never gonna really see that. You know what I mean? But
Well, yeah, we animated.
I think we talked about that though. I think
did.
Toy Story 4,
Mhm.
one of the Toy Stories got nominated. So it's rare,
Yeah.
right? But I think it was that good. This one is good. It's building off of that Miles Morales universe.
Yeah.
And there's it says to be continued at the end.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
it's a two-parter.
Okay.
It could be a three-parter. Who knows? But I was thoroughly enjoying. We're gonna go see it again.
Mm.
We're gonna go see it again.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna see it again. That's right. I mean, if it came out on TV, if it came out on my on screen on the streaming, I'd go see. I see right now. You know what I mean? But no, we're gonna go to theaters and see it again. Okay. The other thing with the vibes, I want to quickly mention, another artist to appreciate while you still got him is Lil Wayne. All right.
That's my goat. I've been vocal about this before. Wayne is my goat. I grew up with Wayne. Wayne was my guy since Black is Hot. Like, I literally grew up with this guy, man. And the reason I jumped in so quickly is because I feel like he don't really get his flowers like that. Like Wayne is my guy.
I think he get his flowers. I think his flowers, but he could get more.
Oh no,
he could get more. He could get more. I mean, nobody ever doubts that Nicki and Drake, you know what I mean, came from that factory. You know what I mean?
He birthed them for sure. Like,
so
yeah.
So we already know he had like health issues because of epilepsy. You know, it's happened to him on stage. Mm-hmm. He's talked about in interviews how, you know, he didn't believe, at some point he didn't even believe this was really happening to him. Yeah. Where people had to eventually like film him
a lot of denial,
during one of these episodes and to film to like, you know, this is crazy he had this happen to him. But he's always said he's felt kind of like sick sometimes, you know, even from a kid. Right? When he was a kid, he never felt all the way completely healthy. And I don't know if that's exactly the epilepsy or maybe it's some other stuff going on. But he's like, man, sometimes stuff would happen. I just wake up in the hospital like, what the fuck happened? Where am I? How did I get here? He doesn't even remember what happened during the seizures, right? And so he's now recent interview. He can't remember his lyrics. Not his lyrics. We can't remember these songs. It didn't go as the article didn't go as I was reading. This is today, today.com. He talks about I wouldn't even know what we're talking about in some of these songs. Mm-hmm. He's like, I would listen to the song, I would hear it, and it's happening, but it's like, I don't remember this song. I remember when it came out. He's like, I don't even know if that's when the Carter 3 came out. He doesn't know the years.
Yeah, as far as the
years. I mean, when you're like, that's how much I don't know. He said, adding that he still continues to work every day. And also, I always look at it as the curse part of gift and the curse, basically gift and the curse. I believe that God blessed me with this amazing mind, but not give me an amazing memory to remember this amazing stuff. You know what I mean? That he's done.
So kind of like a crutch for the gift that he has as far as creativity.
But the thing is, I don't know if it's like something that he's always had a bad memory or if this memory is getting bad now.
I think that's cap because one of the things that he was known for, actually that could have been a way that he coped with that because he's always been like pretty good at like freestyling. And like just coming off the dome, because he can't remember everything, so he just comes off that could be a way of how he coped with it. So it could be something there. but that's never something he's really been vocal about. Like,
yeah, he's never
ever.
mentioned it before ever.
Never,
On
so that's
anything.
why
Like,
it's
oh,
weird. That's why it
I
sounds
have a
weird to
bad
me.
memory. You know,
Yeah.
he's coming out like, especially when we know all these other health issues that he has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to mention all the drug abuse that he's spoken about.
All the codeine and drinking and lean, like just he
All the stuff that he's talking about. So like
popping pills
exacerbating
and all that stuff.
whatever
Yeah.
popping pills, you know, all the exacerbating all the stuff that he had going on already.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hope he's in a more healthy place these days. He's an OG. He's
40
been
years old, bro.
yeah, he's been
40 years old.
he's trans which is like my age. So, you
Yeah,
know,
it's your
he ain't
age. Yeah.
that old.
Yeah. He's not old. Yeah, he's
But I
not
will
old.
testify. But I will testify that I ain't doing all that crazy crap that Wayne was doing back then, and I'm still fucking struggling to get out of bed with my fucking knees the way they is, my back, whatnot.
But that's because but you were an athlete though. I mean, like these
But
things happen.
still,
That happens to me even now. Like I have like aches and pains because of just playing sports all my life. Like that's just it is what it is. At 40, you're gonna feel those things.
Okay, well he had his gauntlet that he went through. So 40,
yeah, that's true.
Don't seem that old.
Self-inflicted, really.
Fine, but he's still there.
Yeah, facts.
He's still alive.
That's facts.
So we can still love on him and love the work he puts out. He doesn't always say the right thing when he's in these interviews. I get it. You know what I mean? He said some problematic stuff. You know what I mean? But like we're talking about just music. You know, Wayne is a cultural icon, and
absolutely.
And I hope he is. I hope it's not some like fucking sign of Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? That's just
that is that possible at that age? Like, is that
early onset shit? Who knows?
Man, that's crazy, man.
Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? With again the complications of all the other stuff that he's self-inflicted. You know what I mean? Who knows? So shout outs to Wayne, and every once in a while I just love randomly throwing a Wayne album on. You know what I mean? And it's just like, man, that takes me back. Because when you listen to it, like it takes you back.
A lot of nostalgia. Absolutely. Man. A lot of nostalgia when you listen to Wayne.
So for an actual album that I recommend, it's going to be Janelle Monae's album that she just dropped. It's called The Age of Pleasure, and it's a great album. It's gonna be nominated for Album of the Year. But this is Janelle Monae. So
she's been nominated for like 8 Grammys, right?
Everything she puts out
is nominated for like 8 Grammys.
Yeah, everything she puts out is always going to be, you know, top notch stuff that's going to be nomination worthy, right? Don't know if she should win it necessarily, but depending on what the rest of the competition has to say, right? But it's definitely going to be nominated. I went through this thing and I checked all the like buttons because I listened to it a couple times. I've listened to it at least like 6 or 7 times already.
The whole album?
The whole album, like 6 or 7 times.
Wow. It
came out yesterday. I listened to it a couple times first, and then like the 3rd or 4th time I go through and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna hit the like button on tracks that I fuck with. And so I went back and I looked, and there's just one track that I'm like, it's still a decent track. A lot of people love it. Matter of fact, she loves it. I heard in an interview she loves this track, but it's just it ain't hitting for me the way the other ones hit. I'm not saying it's a bad track, but bro, even the intermissions. Because you know why the intermissions freaking hold up on this one? Because they did that thing that I love so much. And that just
the transition right into the song.
The transition right. You know what? I did some research. There has to be a term for this. This is what I'm saying to myself. There has to be a term for albums that do the freaking seamless transition from song to song for the whole album. And she does this, and it's so beautiful because some of them go into intermissions, and the intermissions just like it's just like part of the song. Like people always skip intermissions, like I do too. I skip intermissions, but like you made it like part of the song and integrate it, like she does here. We'll listen to the intermissions. Sometimes you have like guest appearances. Somebody who's an actor or an artist of another artist is like saying something, you know what I mean, on there that could be profound or not, or just like getting shout outs. You know what I mean? But like they will still get album credits for that or something. Like we don't listen to, we skip them, so they don't get the rotation for the intermission. But like the way when it's bleeding the track, it's like, oh, the song is still going, so I don't need to like skip here. So like even intermission, you can listen straight through. So this is a dope ass album. It's her 4th studio album.
Really, just
I
4? Wow.
Yeah, it's for, but like I mean, she says she has mixtapes. She talks about how she was like she was pushing tapes out her out the trunk of her car.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I
I
mean?
remember
Like
she
like
mentioned that.
like
Yeah,
like many
started
artists
CDs on her
tend to
car. Yeah,
do. So
yeah.
so I was looking
Know
up
that,
this
bro.
term because I'm trying to think of a, you know what I mean, what does it mean, these albums that like have this transition from song to song?
Mm-hmm.
The closest thing I found was there's this term called and matter of fact, they actually use this in the recording industry called a segue. It's just like doing it, have, you know, a segue from
Yeah.
topic to topic.
Mm-hmm.
So a segue, um, it's in music theory, I guess, it's just, for example, you have an orchestra, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have, you know, you go from one movement to the second movement, right?
Yes.
And so they there's a command, I guess, the conductor would give
Mm-hmm.
to be like, we're not going to take any pauses, we're not going to take any breaks,
Mm-hmm.
we're just going to transition right to this other movement. We're not going to do the lull thing. We're not going to lull it down and just let the violas do a little solo, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into the next movement, no, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna attack it, right? We're just gonna go right into it. And so that's kind of how the term goes when it's called a segue.
Mm-hmm.
So the recording industry has kind of adopted this for 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 records. When they put out, when they go that track to track transition, they call it a segue. They call that a segue. But there's no, I haven't found a term for like when you do it for an album. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna develop. Fuck it. I came up with a term. I came up with a term. Did I write this down? I hope I wrote this down. Did I write this down? You see it in there? Fuck.
No,
I write this down. Okay. I think
I
it's
don't see it.
continuous. A continuous segue album. There you go.
Okay.
So from now on, that's what is a continuous segue album, because the term segue, they only use it because sometimes some albums will have like song 1 and 2 might do a segue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe like something in the middle might do a segue.
Mm-hmm.
But for the whole thing, matter of fact, that Justin Timberlake album, the one with the well, he does all with Timberland, but the freaking I'm Bringing Sexy Back, that album with his I'm Bringing Sexy Back, he had it like that, where like 3 or 4 songs did the segue joint, but like other ones did not. They just completely just started over from the top, you know. So, but like a continuous segue album is, you're talking my language. If you do that for the entire album, you're talking my language. And Janelle Monae does this with, I think she did it with all her studio albums. They have, I think so, but like that's my favorite. So I'm coming with that term. It's continuous segue album. So remember that term. Check out Janelle Monae's album. Was it The Age of Pleasure? She talks about how like we talking about earlier, Jeff, we talking about seasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, seasons, yeah.
And she talks about how, you know, there was a season in her life. There was an age of like struggle. There was an age of confusion. There was an age of anger. There was an age of insecurity. But now she's in this age of pleasure, and she feels like she's really stepping into herself. I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're a person out there and you need to feel good about yourself, and you need some affirmation, this is the affirmation soundtrack. It's the affirmation anthem album that just go on to. So particularly if you're in the marginalized community, so that's whatever marginalization. You could be a woman, you could be Black, you could be LGBTQ, you could be a religious minority, whatever marginalized community you belong to. If you're looking for somebody to like get you to look in that mirror, you know what I mean, and just be like, "You the shit, you fucking got this," kind of thing. This is that album. You listen to it, make it this, and walk around that day like you fucking get all the confidence in the world, fucking conquer the fucking world that you're fucking living in. Straight up, this is what it's for. It's a real motivation album. It's an album for some, if you're trying to love on yourself, be like, I look good. She says this. I look fly. You need these affirmations. You know what I mean? You like, I'm fucking sexy. You know what I mean? Like, she gives all of that. And if you're singing along, you can take ownership of those fucking words and of those lyrics. So shout out to Janelle Monae. I would nominate. Boom. One thing she said in the interview I saw. Free therapy. She says everybody should get free therapy. I'm with that.
She did mention that. She did mention that. Yep.
We have a whack ass healthcare system here where it's all for profit. You know what I mean? If you could pay the dough, you know what I mean? We could see what we could do about it. And for others that could pay even more dough, we can get a second opinion about it. you know? But so yeah, definitely there's never gonna be free therapy. There's no free anything. Not even fucking preventative care.
Yeah.
Right. They should give everybody freaking gym memberships for free. Gym memberships should be, or at least you know what they should do with gym memberships. I should be able to pay with that through my FSA. I'm getting it's a fucking, or my HSA, my health savings account.
Yeah, there is typically like
I'm doing you a favor if I'm taking care of my heart and body. That's less insurance you're gonna have to pay later when I'm gonna take sick leave.
There are companies that have relationships with local gyms or gyms around the way where you get like a percentage off or you get like half off of membership. So it's definitely possible for sure. Definitely possible for sure, but it should be like
free therapy would be amazing. Right? And not only free therapy should be amazing, and at the same time, therapists should be compensated like the way teachers should be compensated, which they're undervalued, but so much not free that it's expensive.
Yeah,
for the consumer, even the consumer, it's like
therapy is
so. There's that. So now there's that barrier for some of the people that have this extra trauma of poverty. They can't even get therapy.
Yeah,
not saying that they need it the most, but they could sure use some.
It's a barrier that barrier to entry. That barrier to entry is.
I need it, and I'm able to get to it.
Yeah.
So that's a fucking flag that we should raise up. And bro, we could solve domestic violence issues. Not all of them, but some of them. We could solve mass shooting. We started off talking about mass shooting.
Yeah.
If people got some therapy,
some sort of counseling or something.
Some sort of counseling. Somebody to be a sounding board of like some sort of mentorship.
Yeah.
So I want to amplify that particular message. She did an interview with Breakfast Club. It's pretty extensive. You could look into it and go comment on their shit if you hear something you don't like, or if you want to signal boost it. But that's the vibes. Janelle Monae, go check that album out.